Today we have for you one of my favorite novels called The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain.
Samuel Clemens, better known by the pseudonym of Mark Twain, was born in 1835. Since he was 4 years old, he lived in Hannibal, where he was inspired to create his most famous novels, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. As many authors, Mark Twain had different adventures during his lifetime, which helped the development of his novels, with humor and adventure, criticizing the society of that time. The Prince and the Pauper, published in 1881, was the first historic novel that Mark Twain wrote. The novel tells the story of two contrasting boys, Edward Tudor, son of Henry VIII, and Tom Canty, son of an alcoholic and thief of London. Because of an extraordinary circumstance, both boys decided to exchange their clothes. As a result, the king's son becomes a pauper, and the thief's son as the heir of England. Thanks to Mark's imagination, the reader adapts the situation and feels the author's purpose. So, let's listen to The Prince and the Pauper.
In London City, one autumnal day, a child was born in a poor family who did not desire him. Their last name was Canty. That precise day, another child was born in a rich family called Tudor. They really desired him. Also, he was desired by all England.
My son was born Prince of Wales.
Throughout the country, nobody talked of anything but the newborn, Edward Tudor, Prince of Wales, who slept comfortably. And nobody talked about the birth of the other child, Tom Canty. Tom's life was hard, but he didn't realize about it. Tom was a pauper like his mother. When he came back empty-handed,
2 coins! Now you will see. No, father, no!
He knew his father was going to beat up him and avoid him to it, but later his mother would sympathize with him. Tom, take it.
Thank you, Mom.
With a crumb of bread, she could save. Tom lived in a place where poor families live, but among them lived a very kind elder priest who used to tell fascinating stories.
Once upon a time,
Were about giants, fairies, dwarfs, charming castles, splendid kings, and especially elegant and kind princes. And little by little, the desire to see a real prince with his eye made the lad obsessed. One day, Tom made his usual pauper's journey, barefoot, starving, and sensitive to cold. He woke inadvertently when he realized suddenly that in front of him was the palace of Westminster. The poor child approached slowly, when suddenly,
Sir John, all the horses ready? Tell the driver that I will make my journey 1 hour later.
It's a prince. It's a real prince.
"Yes, it is, Tom. He was a flesh and blood prince, the Prince Edward Tudor, the child of rich family that was born the same day you were." Without looking at he did, he pressed his face against the bars of the gate. Immediately, one of the soldiers took him away abruptly, throwing him to the ground.
Mind your manners, boy.
How dare you treat this boy like this? How dare you treat like this even the last subject of the king, my father?
His Majesty, I...
Open the door and let him in.
Open the door.
Seeing how mistreated the child was, Edward Tudor let him in his palace.
Do you look exhausted? Come with me.
Edward took Tom into one splendid room of the palace, where he fed him.
What's your name, lad?
Tom Canty, sir, at your order.
And your servants, Tom Canty? What are they?
My servants? Well, I don't have any, sir.
You don't have any servant? And who helped you to undress at night?
Nobody, sir. His Majesty thinks that I take off my dress and sleep with anything.
You have only a dress?
Mm-hmm. And do I want more than one, sir? Like if I had two bodies.
What a wonderful thinking way! You are funny. Tell me about your city. It is comfortable to live there?
Yes, sir. Even though most of the time I'm hungry, there are puppet shows, monkey shows, plays, and everybody yells and fights until they die. It is funny, and it just costs a coin.
Tell me more.
In summer, we go to the river to dive, jump, yell, and have fun.
I will give all I have to enjoy that. Even that happens once.
And if I could rest once with clothes like yours, sir.
Will that make you feel good? So, let's do it!
Some minutes later, the Prince of Wales had dressed with the Tom's rags, and the little pauper got dressed with the luxury clothes of royalty. Then the prince left the palace. He got lost immediately and found a group of kids that played, ran, and jumped. His Majesty, who has never had the opportunity to play with other kids, got excited.
Good lads, say to your master that Edward, Prince of Wales, desires to speak with him.
What? So you are the prince's messenger, beggar?
I am the prince.
The indignant prince hit one of the nearest boys with his foot. Then happened such a thing that England had never seen before. The secret person of the heir of the throne rudely beaten by plebeian hands and beaten by dogs. The prince ran as far as he could. Suddenly, a great drunken ruffian took him to his house. This man was John Canty, Tom's father. On the other hand, Tom resigned himself to the torture of being dressed and washed by the servant of the palace. The servant, to do the first action, pours the water. The servant, in charge to do the next, passes the towel, and the servant in charge of the third action took Tom to receive a cut of hair. About time, he left the room with his royal clothes. After proclaiming himself the real prince for a lot of times, Edward fell asleep at Tom's mother's hands. She realized he was not at his real son. In the morning, the little prince had left the house. Edward found a tremendous news that was shaking all England. Long live the king, Edward VI. This made feel proud the lad from feet to head. It was there that a stranger approached the prince, Miles Hendon. He took him off the hand to the place where he lived. The little prince was hungry and said,
I order you to serve the dinner.
Miles' eyes filled with compassion, and he understood that the poor lad could have suffered a lot. Miles decided to find new clothes for the little prince, but when he came back, the prince had disappeared. In fact, he did not escape, but he was taken by Tom's father. Edward, after different troubles, could escape. In the coronation day, all the crowd was expecting the prince to be crowned as the King of England. A great commotion occurs among people when the little prince appeared riding a beautiful horse.
God bless you all. I thank you a lot.
The little pauper was throwing coins to the ground when he saw a pale face among the crowd. He felt a big consternation.
Tom, my son! Tom!
No, I don't know you, woman.
The coronation ceremony started. Tom was conducted to the platform. The archbishop raised the crown of England and kept it suspended over the pauper's head. But in that moment,
I forbid you to put the crown in the head.
Let him. He is the real king. Oh, His Majesty, your illness is affecting you again. Take that pauper! Let him! I said he is the real king.
everybody was in shock. The King Edward was wearing rags and approached toward the platform.
My king, let Tom Canty be the first to swear fealty. Place your crown and take what belongs to you.
The crowd was in shock by seeing the two boys together. The panic was generalized. The Lord said immediately to question the lad to figure out what happened.
Where is the Great Seal? If you were the king, you would answer it.
It's no hard equation. Sir John, go to my room. In the wall, next to the wardrobe, you will see a button. Push it, you will see immediately the Great Seal. Go for it!
It was confused that Edward had ordered the main servant, Sir John, to do this, but he didn't know if do it or not.
Why do you doubt? You didn't listen to King's command? Go!
So Sir John went making a peculiar reverence in the middle of the two boys, and after some minutes of suspense,
The Great Seal is not there. This beggar is lying. Take him and whip him in every corner of the city. Stop! Don't touch him! Sir John, did you look for it carefully? The circumference of solid gold? Yes, sir. In every corner of the room. Well, I know where it is, but I was not the first who placed it there. His Majesty, remember, it was the last thing that we did the day that we met.
No, I don't remember.
That day we met, you fitted me. Do you remember?
Yes?
Then we exchanged our clothes. You went near an armor next to the window.
Yes. Yes, yes. It is in one of the arms of the armor hinge. In the wall. Go, 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 Sir John.
Sir John was confused again. He went to the place that Edward said. Some minutes later, Sir John raised the Great Seal, suspended in the sky for a long time. The two kings, the real and the false one, hugged each other with emotion. It was there that the little Edward was crowned finally, even though his reign was very short. King Edward is recognized by his compassion and humility.
Hello, this was our video that was a summary of the book The Prince this fantastic book.
And thank you so much for your attention. I'm Anna. I perform the narrator of this novel.
I'm Rodrigo, and I perform the cool pauper called Tom Canty.
And I am Douglas, and I perform the Prince Edward Tudor.
And thank